Russian President Vladimir Putin is all set to visit India tomorrow, 4th of December, for a high-stakes bilateral summit with the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now, at the heart of this visit is a newly finalized agreement on the mobility of skilled and semi-skilled workers. Indian Ministry of External Affairs officials have said that the document has been finalized and is going through internal processes before signing. Economic cooperation will be a key focus during this summit. The bilateral trade between the countries has crossed $65 billion and is driven largely by India's import of discounted Russian crude. Yet, the relationship remains heavily tilted in Moscow's favor. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov acknowledged India's concerns, saying that Moscow wants to buy more from India and is looking for joint efforts to correct this imbalance. India is pushing for wider access for its marine products, pharmaceuticals, processed food, consumer goods, potatoes and pomegranates, with both sides agreeing to work towards narrowing the deficit. Despite US President Donald Trump imposing tariffs on New Delhi for importing Russian crude oil, Peskov expressed optimism about longer-term ambitions with India. On energy, Moscow says supplies to India remain stable despite sanctions. India reiterated that private companies make oil purchase decisions based on global market conditions. New Delhi is expanding its footprint in Russia with consulates in Kazan and soon Yekaterinburg, alongside negotiations for a free trade agreement with the Eurasian Economic Union. Now, during the bilateral summit between the two leaders, talks may also include an additional S-400 missile system and discussions on New Delhi's interest in the Su-57 fifth-generation fighter jet, which the Kremlin spokesperson called the best plane in the world. Civil nuclear cooperation is also on the cards, including compact reactor technology, which is also on the table. Additionally, the two leaders are likely to discuss issues related to terrorism and the ongoing Ukraine conflict. Just hours ahead of Putin's arrival now, Russia's State Duma approved the reciprocal exchange of logistics support pact, RELOS. And it was signed earlier this year. RELOS allows military aircraft, ships and personnel from both countries to use each other's facilities for exercises, trainings, humanitarian missions and disaster relief. Vladimir Putin praised Russia's rapidly growing trade with India and said he would continue pursuing a sovereign economic policy.
We will continue to pursue a sovereign economic policy and act externally based on our own national interests, the needs of domestic businesses and our citizens. We will fulfill our obligations to foreign partners and expand cooperation with those countries that are interested in it. As I have already said, the vast majority of countries act rationally and pragmatically. Over the past 3 years, we have significantly increased